Yeah, hello guys and welcome back to my channel Comment Centric. If you're new to my channel, please like, share, subscribe and comment your opinion. So today we're going to be looking at this one here. It says here, dad cutting son's locks because he bullied another kid at school that had cancer. So we're just going to quickly play the video and then I'll come back and I'll give my opinion about this one before we see some comments. So here's the video, guys.
There you go. Right. It's over with now. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone now. It's over with. There you go.
So that's the video, guys, and I know some of you might have a different opinion about this one, but here's my thoughts about this. Now, I think the father did the right thing because the parenting culture in America is not really something strict, and we tend to take some things lightly, and once these things are ignored, it tends to let these kids. It tells them, oh, maybe what I did is right, and when they grow up with a mindset of not respecting or valuing people, even in their condition that they didn't put themselves in. And cutting the child's dreadlocks will serve as a reminder to him every day that you shouldn't and you should never bully someone that had cancer. And if you probably because the cancer patient has hair loss, it doesn't mean that okay, this person wanted to be like this, but it's as a result of something and some unforeseen circumstances that they didn't plan upon themselves, and that's why they're like this. So this is not something I wouldn't say this is bad, because this is probably something I'll consider as a good parenting, just to make him learn his lesson that doing such act of participating in bullying anyone, and especially someone that has cancer, is not something that should be done. And sometimes parents tend to ignore things like this, and when it's been ignored, later when the kids grow up or are of age, when they begin to misbehave, you begin to question, why is my kid like this? But then you forgot that you neglected some things that should have been corrected during his or her upbringing. So it's very important that we look at these things and monitor our kids and don't neglect. I'm not saying you should abuse them, hit them, or something like that, but I believe there are proper measures and steps that can be taken, and they would actually feel like, okay, I was grounded because of this, I got punished because of this, and I think it's not something that is right. So this is important for us to note that I'm not saying anyone should hit their kids or stuff or all of those things, but if there are things that you take away from them and they would actually try to learn their lesson and know that okay, I shouldn't do something like this anymore. You understand me? So it's very important. So people might have a different opinion about this. You can drop your thoughts about this in the comment. I'm just gonna read through some comments and see what people have to say about this one. And this person here says, when spanking became illegal, crime went up. Learning consequence for your actions when you are young is good for society and for the child. That's what I said. When you show this child that there is consequence for every actions you do, there is consequence for every actions, every bad decisions you make, every actions you take, there is consequence, that they will learn faster that way. Don't take these things with light hand. So I've talked about the parenting in the United States needs to be checked and needs to be corrected because a lot of change. That's why you see a lot of kids and teenagers these days misbehaving and acting in the wrong path and direction. Another one here says, what kind of sick F makes fun of a kid with cancer? Should have shaved his eyebrows too. So you can see, I'm glad the comment at least could see that there's nothing wrong with what the father did, because obviously there will be some people out there trying to back what this kid did and say, no, you shouldn't have cut his dreadlocks, blah blah blah, and all of that. This is fair, hair grows back, and maybe he learns something from it. Yeah, that's what I said. This will be stand as a lesson, and hopefully he can learn something from this action and know that this is not something right and this is not something that you should do. And this one here says, don't know how any of you are considering this is him bullying his son. It's called a punishment. Based on the reaction, it seems like it's well warranted. So, like I said, I know there are people that are going to want to defend this and say he's bullying his son. He shouldn't do that. But this is not bullying. This is, I think, a parenting step that should be that I feel like people should integrate as well in their home, because sometimes when you do these things, they tend to learn their lessons. You didn't hurt them, you didn't beat them. It's just their hair that was taken from them for that moment, and probably their hair will grow back, obviously. And this says, good father, this says it's fair, but you should get the kid to shut the F up and own his punishment like a young man. What the F is all the screaming? So, yeah, I guess this person is right. The kid should just keep quiet and accept that he was wrong and accept his punishment, and try to do the right thing next time. And this one here says this is not bullying. This is a fair and harmless way to teach a kid a lesson. Exactly my point. This is harmless. This is harmless, and it's a good way to teach your kid a lesson. So there is no harm done here. He was not hit. The father didn't hit him or injure him. The father only took something. Probably he likes his hair, he likes his dreadlocks, and the father just took it away from him and say, okay, you're grounded for this. I'm going to cut off your dread because you make fun of a kid without hair that's going through a cancer sickness. So, which is a good parenting. It's not bad, because when you start to teach them young, when they grow up, they will be a better people in the society. This is shaving a child's head as a punishment can lead to anxiety, depression, and aggression later. Public humiliation increase the risk of further bullying for the child. Experts advocate for positive discipline and build a better behavior without shame. So, like I said, it works both ways. Now, I'm not sure this should be harmful to the child. I'm sure after shaving his hair, the father probably had some talks with him and told him that, okay, you shouldn't do something like this. I'm sure um, there was a prep talk or probably a word of advice to the son before even cutting the hair. And just like it happens, there is what we call reward, right? There is reward and punishment. When the child does something right, we tend to reward them. When the child does something wrong, there is also punishment. Same thing is applicable in the workforce, right? When your work is, you do the right work, you receive incentive. Incentives are seen as rewards. And then when your work, you're not doing something right, you're not doing something properly, you tend to receive the punishment. And the punishment might be you being sacked, or you being, reprimanded by your boss. So same goes to this child and his father. The father cutting his head is like his hair, sorry, not his head, the hair, the dreadlocks is like a punishment, and a harmless punishment, I must say. And because those hair grow back, it's not something like it's a permanent something he took away from him permanently. His hair is still gonna grow back. So I might be, you guys can tell me, but I feel like, yeah, I think this person is speaking from a psychological point of view, but then I feel like this shouldn't be harmful to the child. It would be a different case scenario maybe if he was hitting the child, beating the child, hitting him and stuff like that. But this is like just shaving the hair. I want to see actually the comment under this and what they said. Their response is this is now that memory of getting punished for being a prick will remain. What you call anxiety is having to learn a lesson. Exactly. So they're responding to this comment right here, and she mentioned that to give the child on anxiety, but I don't think there is any anxiety that is going to happen here, because that's what we call lesson learned from his actions, and his actions done was wrong, so he deserved that. So this is he bullied a child with cancer. He should feel shame. He should definitely feel shame. Exactly, because bullying someone with cancer is just trying to kill them more faster. They're already going through a lot enough to get bullied. This is not. This is one of the dumbest tweets I've ever read. You see, and this says this kind of thinking is why children these days have no respect for no one. If parents would spank their kids and hold them accountable, then we would see a difference. This is retardation leads to dumb posts like yours. Exactly. I felt like there's nothing wrong, even though you try to see it from a psychological point of view. The father didn't hit him; he only cut off his dread, and those hairs are gonna grow back. This says shut the f up. Kids behaves. They get to wear their hair how they want. Real simple. This is positive discipline. The lack of spanking why the left is the way it is today. Positive discipline has never worked. You show the kid what it like to be bullied, so he wouldn't do it again. Exactly. This is experts. Okay. And this one here says, it's going to be amazing when the data comes full circle to support spanking. He might get anxiety. Is your defense? And that's it from me, guys. And thank you guys for stopping by with me. If you're new to my channel, please like, share, subscribe, and comment your opinion. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace and love. I love you guys. Please subscribe, like, share, comment your opinion as well. Thank you. Thank you, guys.